Uh, all right.
All my life, I've heard nothing but you can't and you won't. Probably not.
So that right there, that's another thing we can all that can resonate with many of us that have tried. We have dreams, we have ideas, we have things we want to do, and there's always a naysayer, if not many naysayers about it. If we are, and we get to a point where we're afraid to speak out what we want because then somebody might make fun of it, someone might put it down. So most of us end up just not speaking out what it is, not speaking into existence what we want. Um, and that could be the nail in the coffin, man. To not to actually not ever live the life you've truly felt you've always wanted to live. You've sealed your own fate by not speaking it out into the universe. Sounds like Tom. He's not that type of person. Sounds like he was very outspoken, and that's probably why he had a lot of people telling him, "No, man, you can't do that, bro." I mean, because he was, and I don't think he shied away from it. I think he just kept going. No, no, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a wrestler. Whatever he was doing, I think people were. It might even have been his own parents at the time because his parents sometimes they try to be. I get it. You like, hey, that's a nice little dream, son, or whatever, your daughter, or you're just trying to let them know that if it fails, what's your backup plan? You're always that's just part of the process. But it doesn't sound like Tom had like a drastically traumatic experience growing up, but this would have been something probably like this is just something standard in all households. Like you're going to have brothers and sisters, you're going to have parents, you're going to have grandparents, you're going to have somebody, cousins, putting you down if you dared speak out uh, about your dream.
But I will. And that poster I talked about, I'm not shooting for the moon. I'm shooting further. I'm shooting much further. I'm talking so far that when I get there, when I get where I'm going, when I turn around and look back at those people who said, you can't, and you won't, and probably not, those people won't be nothing but a speck of dust.
Every part of this promo, the way they shoot the sounds in the background, the way they shoot the footage, the way Tom is delivering it, each time that they want to take you to the edge of your seat, he's taking you to the edge of your seat to see what he's going to say next. And when he says it, you're just like, you're trying to breathe because you're holding your breath because they took you there. This is commercial grade quality, dude. This is Nova shouldn't. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, dude. Like, this is what we expect from the big ticket, big guys. They do this kind of stuff, you know. I wasn't sure when I first saw the NASA thing. I was like, can he use NASA? Oh, it was interesting. I mean, detail. Let's go.
How far am I going to go exactly? I couldn't tell you how many miles. I couldn't tell you how long it's going to take. All I can tell you is I'm going as far as the stars. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Just going back, look at that shot, dude. Now I'm looking at it closer. Tom's staring this direction. Nova looks like she's kind of staring this way. Look at Brandon. That is just a. He's looking up at the stars. There's the stars, man. Wow. I'm blown away, man. Even now, after seeing this, I must have seen this like 30 times, 40 times, and I never get tired of seeing it. And I watched other reactors react to it. I'm so glad there was reactors reacting to it because I wanted to see their reactions, and it, like a lot of similar, if not, there's different reactions, but mostly all it was resonating. It resonates, man. It speaks to all of us. It's like and the music, it gets you, it got me. I don't know about you, but it got me to dream again. I mean, heck, why do you think I'm doing these videos, man? The last 4 days I've released, I was just looking at it. I've done 12 videos so far in the last 3.5 days. This will be my 13th. Of course, I'm going back through his catalog, but man, I've never done anything like this. I mean, I pulled the trigger because I started believing again. Like, this is the kind of stuff that got me believing that anything is possible. It's watching someone actually make it happen. Someone actually doing it sometimes gives you hope. Because if the mainstream message is always, putting a message before you that, you're never going to make it. There's no use trying. Only certain people will make it. People start to buy into it. I start to believe that that's, only the elite, only the talented, only the very gifted, only these people will make it. And, I guess it all depends on what you look at, because there's people making it all the time. And I've heard all these amazing stories through all the different associations I've had. And even on YouTube, you'll spot a lot of people just rising up out of, and so there's also, as much as there's this element of trying to keep people down, I guess there's that aspect. There's just as much that is good. So at the end of the day, it all depends on what you want to look at. I mean, if you want to look at, I guess it is true. It's how you set your sail, Not to take that away from the guy who spoke it, which was, what's his name? He was the guy that mentored Tony Robbins. Can't think of his name right now. He's like in the background because everyone knows Tony Robbins' name. But he said I remember when I first heard it, Jim Rohn, he said something about setting your sail, and it just hit me like, whoa, wait a minute. Because he said the same wind of opposition blows on every one of us. And there are people that still get to their destination regardless of that opposing wind. They use the wind in their favor because it's how they set their sail, which is their mindset that gets them to the other side. Whereas all these other folk that are just getting smashed up against the rocks and everything, their mindset is off. The sail is off. So the wind is just working against them. And so they're always like getting blown up against the corals and stuff like that. And so Tom is just one of those examples of how, he obviously had a lot of opposing forces going against him, like strong hurricane force winds trying to blow him back to oblivion. And, he just used it to get him further down, found some jet streams, or not jet streams, but in the ocean, what do you call it? There's some, heck, my ancestors found them. That's how they got to the islands. There's all these little ocean currents, these little currents that just like, if you find the right ones, you hardly don't even need a sail if you find those puppies. And I don't know how my ancestor did it. That's even a mystery. Somehow they even some of the history behind it I've heard. I guess I need to study more of it. In our dress, there's like, we call it tapas, like made out of coconut leaves. It's woven in. There's this, and even on the tattoos, I guess, just woven in these patterns. And those patterns are supposed to be like the ocean currents that got them to the islands. It's like they had a map of these currents. I don't know if those currents exist today. I've heard different sailors, different people that sail these things. Vikings used them, um, and you could use a simple craft and really traverse the ocean if you knew how to use these things, these currents. So, I don't know where I was going with that metaphor, but they use the stars to guide them, I guess, as well, being out there in the ocean. So hey, as far as the star, using the stars, we'll tie it back in. I love this show, and I'm glad that I'm visiting it again in this catalog. You know, I'm definitely going to respond with a piano thing on this thing for sure. I kind of already wrapped up my discussion in this. I didn't get to highlight all my favorite reactors for this. I'm realizing I was going to be doing that on the discussion, separating discussions, but I've already carried this on as far as it could go. I'll be highlighting my favorite reactors as I hit some of the songs on the way, because I think the next one after this is going to be a song. So that's it for now, guys. Glad you guys stopped by again. If you like me as a reactor, you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, click like. If you like to check out my music, click that. I'll have that at the end card, and go down to my remarks for other ways that you can support me as an independent artist. With that, look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.